Hey guys, this is Statton.
Welcome to another Heart to Heart with Statton. Today's subject is going to be kind of a continuation of the last Heart to Heart video, only instead I'm going to be focusing on the attitude of, I won't say most of the new players, but quite a bit of them, actually. And that is, well, first, I would like to point out to all of you between the last video and the video called Toxic Players, which are both Heart to Heart with Statton videos, I was really kind of hard on the veteran players. They're not all the same, but I mentioned how they lack patience. They don't want to train people. They don't want to actually help people. They only want to hang around people that already know how to play the game and are good at it, and they'll rip into people and make fun of them if they're new to the game and are still learning it. Now, as I just pointed out a minute ago, they're not all like that, but a good number of them are. And that's one of the things that's going to end up killing MMOs over time. Not just the fact, I'm not saying it's all them, because I know Neverwinter is not what it used to be. People are very disappointed with the content that's come out. Now, I can't really pass judgment on it either way because I'm not on that level just yet. I have not experienced the latest content, and I'm not going to pretend that I have. I still have quite a ways to go before I become an end game player, and I'm okay with that. But in the end, when the new players come on and they want to enjoy the game, but they're not receiving a lot of help and they're receiving a lot of ridicule for being new players, yeah, they're going to end up getting frustrated and leaving, especially with the new changes that Cryptic has been doing with Neverwinter. Like I said, I don't know all the changes. I'm not familiar with all of them. I just know a lot of people are unhappy with them. Now, with that said, it's not just the end game players that are the problem. Some of the new players are also likewise the problem. You see, I've encountered quite a few players, and I've heard people tell stories about some of these new players, how they want everything handed to them. They, when they ask for help, they'll ask for help in the wrong ways. They'll ask for free stuff. If the game is coming out with something new or powerful, they'll beg other players to get it for free. Now, I've actually encountered a situation like that or once or twice in my very first Neverwinter guild, where someone wanted to join and they would ask me to help them. They would ask for me to provide them some of the things that they would want or need. And as soon as I would give this back, this was a while back, a long time ago when I was new to everything and didn't understand how things worked quite as well. Well, I helped him. I got the stuff he needed, gave him to him, and the next day he left the guild. Now, do I still help people? Yes, but I make sure it's people I actually know well enough and people that have been in the guild for quite some time. I'm not going to just help new players like that by giving them what they want, because those people, they use the more experienced players that have the things that they need. And I just don't understand that. For one thing, if you remember my last Heart to Heart with Statton video, I mentioned how using cheat codes and stuff in video games, becoming invincible, makes a game boring. Well, there's having powerful weapons and stuff handed to you at an early stage of the game when you just created a character and everything. It's not exactly making you invincible, but you're not that far off either. And to me, creating a character and making that character grow over time is a huge part of the fun in an MMO. Starting out weak and actually doing the work you need to do to grow your character, make him stronger. That's part of the fun. I remember when Statton was just a level 1 and how the fights between level 2s and 3s and 5s monsters would actually take some time. In fact, even even now, I like I said, I'm not an end game player. I'm at the highest experience level, but I still got quite a while to go before I can actually plow through some of the end game dungeons. But the point is I'm having fun growing Statton. He's making him stronger, knowing that there was a time when he was a lot weaker than what he is now, and knowing that down the road there's going to be a point in time where he's going to be even stronger. Now, skipping that road's going to make the game boring. Traveling down that road, watching him as he grows stronger, to me, that is a huge part of the fun. Why do you want things handed to you? Why do you want to start out overpowered? What is it you're going to work for then? What are you doing? We gain astral diamonds and we gain armor and weapons so we can do the harder stuff, and we do the harder stuff so we can gain more rewards over time. But once you have everything, what left is there? Now, as for me, I'm not saying this would ever happen because, for one thing, I don't have all the time in the world to dedicate to Neverwinter as much as I would like. Otherwise, I would probably be near endgame level by now. But the fact of the matter is, in a hypothetical situation, if I did reach that point where I have the latest stuff and Statton is this OP endgame character, has done it all already, I'm not even... Not now I think about it. Are there any players that have reached that point, Neverwinter? Well, I guess that's something I'll have to ask around. But the point is if I ever did reach that point, the only thing left that would keep me playing the game would be helping others, helping the newer players, and only helping them in a different way. I wouldn't hand them the stuff they're asking for, but I would help them in any way I could so that they could accomplish getting the stuff, because they need to understand growing the character is a big part of the game. You take the out part away, the game is going to be boring. So no, I'm not just against end game players, and nor am I really against end game players. I'm just against the ones that lack the patience and understanding that they need to understand that, hey, people aren't going to start Neverwinter automatically knowing how to play. And yes, some of them are going to actually have to have other players help them understand things that they're going to have a hard time understanding on their own. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't have the patience for it, well, then you might want to consider playing a different game. And no, that's not me saying, hey, get out of the Neverwinter. There's no room for you. What I'm saying is that... all I'm saying is don't throw out criticism. Don't lose patience. In the end, it is just a game. There's nothing wrong with being competitive. But once you take it so far that you feel legitimate anger and irritation and frustration at the game every time you run into a new player, then that's time that you need to rethink things and ask yourself, is it really worth getting this angry over a video game? And likewise, for the new players, if you're going to have everything handed to you to where you're not actually having to do anything to earn it, is there a real point in you playing the game as well? The whole point is for the older players to help the newer players to work together. Can the new players really contribute to the old players that have almost everything and are super powerful? Not in the sense that they can give them anything that they don't already have, but in the end, the newer players can help keep the game alive. And if you really enjoy Neverwinter still, I'm pretty sure there are people that do. I mean, it seems like as time goes on, there are more and more complaints about it. I'm not going to lie. And I'm I will even admit I'm not happy with all the changes that I have noticed. For example, I used to be able to solo, I think I said this in a previous video. I used to be able to solo some of the regular dungeons such as Cloak Tower, but unless they did something and changed it again recently. But the last time I tried to solo, I was massacred because, the boss was just very powerful. And I'm not entirely sure how that's supposed to work for new players. Like, how are the new players going to be able to take down a boss that even a level 80 character is struggling just to take down? I don't know. Maybe there's more to the story than I realize, but despite the fact that Neverwinter has done some things that I don't particularly like, doesn't mean I don't like Neverwinter anymore. I would love for Neverwinter to be around for a long, long time still. And I still enjoy the game. I enjoy the people that I play with. I enjoy the people that I talk to on the game. I still enjoy gaming with them and everything. Neverwinter is always going to have a place in my heart, even if down the line they do more things that I'm disappointed with. You can you don't always have to look at a game as a whole saying, well, I don't like this whole game because it does this and does that. Oh, well, I mean, if you want to take it that far, that's okay. But me, I see games the way I see many subjects in the world, and that is, well, I like the fact that this game does this and that, but I don't like it, what the other things it does. So I don't see it as a whole, oh, I don't like this game. I see it as I like some things it has, but I dislike the other things it has. And I see that with every game. And I don't just see that with video games. I see that with many different subjects, such as politics and stuff. I don't look at politics as a whole and look at one side and say, well, I don't like this side, but I love this side. I tend to dissect things to I where I say, well, this side has some good points here. I do not agree with the other points that they state. And likewise, I do the same thing with the other side. I believe if you dig deep enough, you're going to find that everybody and every group will have flaws in their thinking. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's called being human. You're never going to find a side that's right on every little thing. And likewise with video games, you're not going to find a video game that's perfect in every single way. And as far as the new players that just want everything handed to them, that's not just a video game thing. That's also in life. You're going to have people that'll pretend to be your friends, but as soon as you give them what they want, they will end up casting you aside. And then they'll forget that they'll have forgotten that you even existed 2 seconds later. Now in situations like that, you are going to get hurt. I mentioned that in a video a while back called True Friends. Well, that is true right there in the sense that you're going to have friends, but only a few of them are your true friends. A lot of them are going to be people that'll use you. Sometimes you need to learn to recognize the real friends from the users and weed out the users from your real friends. Now, just because there are people that will use you doesn't mean you don't have real friends. So bear that in mind. You do have true friends even when you find out, oh, this person I thought was my friend turned out they were just using me and now they pushed me aside. Never think for 1 second you don't have any friends whenever that happens. Because you do in the end. There are people that care about you. It may seem like the users outnumber the real friends, but the real friends are there. I didn't actually expect this part of the subject to come up. I was going to talk about the new players alone, but anyways, the fact of the matter is, this video is part 2 of the last Heart to Heart with Statton video I did, and there's going to be, there might be a part 3 because there's another subject I sort of touched on in this video, but I would like to touch on it again later on in greater detail, because this falls into play where if the older players and the newer players learn to work together, I think the game can be played in such a way to where even when disappointing changes happen or the lack of creative content is coming around, there's a way you can actually play these type of games and have a blast and even have a lot of laughs, which I'll explain more later. This video has gotten a little longer than I meant for it to. Just as well, though, because this dungeon is actually nearing its end now, facing the final boss, and there I go. Or there we go, I should say. I can't believe I said I on that one, because we're all a team here. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. My name is Statton. Like, share, and subscribe. Remember that you are not alone, and you all have yourselves a wonderful day.